Oh yeah, we're back. Welcome to How Can She?
Snap.
This is the Marvel Snap podcast dedicated to the filthy casual. I'm the kid, one half of the Super Snap Bros. Here with my brother from the same mother, and the reason why we have been away for a week. He's been waiting for that sweet, sweet headband to come in. We have Mr.
No big deal, baby.
Baby, yeah. And we're back. No, honestly, for in all honesty, I just had a lot of real life stuff happen, and busy. Haven't played much Snap, so I figured if we weren't playing much Snap, didn't want to waste everyone's time with a bullshit podcast, But we're back, and we got a nice episode. A lot of stuff's happened so far, so we're gonna have a good amount of stuff to talk about. We got the new card this week, GORR. We got the card last week to talk about, Fenris Wolf. The DINER's back, round 2, baby. Seen a lot of negativity surrounding that, but we're gonna clear that up real quick. We're gonna go over next month's cards. They were leaked. So it should be fun. Let's get it. The kid. All right, no big deal. Good to be back. Good to be back.
We're back.
How the heck are you, man? How the heck are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. The diner's back. It's snap time. It's time. Once I see that Deadpool's diner, it's time to log off the bazaar and play some fucking Marvel Snap. Let's fire up some decks and
Exactly.
go get some bubs. I love the diner. It's an absolute blast.
The diner is fucking great. I do really love the diner. You got to chase those bubs. It's great. And I just got King Etri right before this pod. It was hilarious. I was just like doing a little bit like, maybe I'll get it. I was close, I think I was at like 12 million or something like that. And I'm like, all right, I got 3 million to go. We'll see. And then use a pretty sweet deck, which we'll talk about later. But got there, and I've been having a great time. And missed the pod last week. I missed not doing it, but honestly, I didn't really play that much, so I didn't feel like I want to come on here and be a fake fuck and just talk about stupid shit. So I was like, you know what? I just felt it better just to take a week off, take a break, reset, and get in there. So you've been playing a lot. You've been sending me a lot of screenshots of all these decks you've been making, and let's just kick it off with GORR, the card that's released this week. Let's stay with what's fresh. Then we'll dwell on the past. The past cards they released. GORR is a 6-1. Ongoing, +2 power for each on-reveal card in play. So, pretty big boy. What are your thoughts on him initially?
I mean, you called it on the pre-show. We were previewing these cards. Like this thing's busted, man. This might be the best card in all of Marvel Snap. I don't know. I haven't looked at any stats. I've been in the diner, so maybe that's its own bubble. But this just feels like when Red Hulk came up to me. This is just Red Hulk. It's not quite Blob level. Blob was another animal entirely, just a casual 70 ball just taking up space. This is not quite that, and obviously there's a couple ways to counter it, but that's always been the case with a card like Darkhawk, and Darkhawk's been nerfed how many times now? So it's not, it won't stop the cards from being busted just because it has Darkhawk properties where yes, it could be countered with Shang-Chi, Rogue, Eng, all these things, but at the end of the day, 621 is just a 621. Like, what do we, it's busted. Like, Red Hulk was a 620 and he was busted, and High Evo Hulk was a 620 every time, and he was busted. So we just got the next. I guess it reminds me of High Evo Hulk power level. Actually, that feels about right to me, like the original.
Yeah, he feels really good. And right before going here, I was reading the Alliance chat, and I saw someone mention that there was a Marvel Snap creator. Oh man, I don't remember who it was now, but they created a bounce deck with GORR in it, and apparently was slapping. And I'm like, that fucking just makes sense. Like, you just play all on reveal cards with bounce. Yeah. Like, you could dump them all. You could, if you have Black Swan, you could dump them all at the end of the game, and then you just play this big fucker.
He's probably a 29 burger in that deck.
Yeah, it's probably insane. Yeah. But yeah, this card's just been a big power card. That's just what he is, right? Like, and it's hard to negate the power that he gives. And obviously, he's just an auto-include in Mr. Negative, in my opinion. If you're playing Mr. Negative decks, I don't know any reason why you wouldn't play this card in that deck.
Well, I'm
But you
happy
know, so
the Super Snap Bros were ahead of the curve on that
yeah.
one. We called that one months ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, of course, it's a 6 negative one. I mean, you don't even need to look at the text to know it's a Mr. Negative card, right?
Yeah, exactly. He could have just been a 6 negative one. You're like,
6
all right,
negative
it's
one. That's pretty good.
that's a 0-6. Like
0-6.
we're in.
Better than
Just like,
Sabretooth.
yeah, just like the old Galactus, it was a 2-6. It was fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah, better than Sabretooth. Poor Sabretooth pouring up for that card, man. But yeah, dude, this card's just been good. It's just been good. And you know what? Even thing that for me that feels better about this card, which I'm gonna get very personal here right now. I'm gonna get very personal real quick.
Uh-oh.
Is before this card, the last 4 cards that I got, I was really fucking pissed off because I spent 4. It took me 4 keys on 3 of them, and then Fenris. I was like, I'm not fucking rolling for this card because, and I wasn't even excited about the first 3 cards. I'm like, all right, spend a couple keys, you know, I'll take them, you know, just to play with them, just to, you know, have some content, play with them, and you know, just let's play with the new cards. It's always fun to play with the new cards, but like 4 keys. Fenris, I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. My mental can't take it, man. I was like, I know that there is
break
like,
from rolling.
yeah, I'm like, I know that there's like variance in the game. Like, I get it. Like, I obviously don't always get 4. You know, I've gotten like 1 and 2 a lot of times in the past, and I was like, you know, I just can't do it. And then so I just spent 6K, and then this week I'm like, all right, I'm back. I'm rolling for GORR. We'll see what happens. And then I got him on 1. So I got him on 1.
We take those.
So
baby.
we take those. So it just felt even better, this card. So like, I don't know, it made me a little more excited. But yeah, he's just a good card that you could probably throw at almost any deck because there's always on reveals.
Yeah.
Like by the end of the game, let's say like there's a minimum of like 7 on reveals on this, and he's at like a 6-13 at worst, probably, right? Like, but there's usually more than that, especially if you're playing cards in your deck that are all on reveals, which you usually are. And if you're playing like Kate Bishop, she's like a 2-3 on reveal, and then you get 2 on reveals, like you're like, well, that just buffs this guy by 6 just with that one card. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. He's a good card. I like him.
Yeah, I mean I do think he's a little bit too good, but you know we knew this was the one, this was the card that was coming out. We knew that the numbers were too big. The numbers are definitely too big. I think like, you know, the same way you could put Red Hulk in every deck, I think it's the same thing, right? It's you know, maybe there's a meta that exists where a big ass 6-drop is not like quite good enough. Like we're in some crazy combo meta where it's like, oh, okay, yeah, 620 is, you actually need to go bigger than that or something, like, who knows, right? Or there's just so many counters or whatever. Like everyone's playing Enchantress is a 3 cost or something like that, and everybody's playing it, and it's just like a 3/5 or something. You know, maybe then GORR is not quite as good, but it's tough because you're always pretty much passing priority when you're playing this guy on, you know, especially that bounce deck you're talking about, a Mr. Negative deck. Everyone's going to be holding priority, so all of those counters don't do a whole lot at that point. And a lot of these decks were playing Cosmo to counter the, you know, obnoxious combo deck, so you could just sneak your GORR into a Cosmo lane too. That's another way you could play him. So he's pretty tough to counter, the same way Red Hulk was. You know, it's like you're just holding a 620. It's usually just pretty good if you don't have to skip a turn first, like Infinite. You know?
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Like, yeah, literally, I feel like you could probably just put him in any deck that you like need a 6-drop. You know, obviously some decks don't want to run 6-drops, but like, if there's a 6-drop that you need in any deck, he's a good slot in, I think, for, you know, almost any of them. So
yeah, it's tricky with cards like this to, you know, if, you know, a lot of people are asking, you know, do you recommend picking him up and stuff, right? And it's like, I mean, for me, I like the big boy cards. Like, I was so hyped for Blob, you know, and I actually like this kind of card. So for me, I mean, I think it's really fun too. But I would say if you're, you know, this card is insane. He's cracked, but if you don't like big boy 6-drop, then you know, you might want to skip, because I mean I can see a nerf coming. Like, don't get mad if you buy him and he gets nerfed. I guess that's really, you know, it's like just don't be surprised if they take a couple power off, move him to a -3 or some shit.
Or if they make him like a 6/4 +1 power or something like that, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they could do something like that.
Then he'd be more in line with like Ajax and what's the zoo guy, Gilgamesh. He'll be more like a Gilgamesh, you know, rather than what he is now. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So again, like, you know, he's early, so he looks pretty fucking good right now. We'll see what the data shows in a few weeks. You know, if he's really that busted. But honestly, if like you said, if you don't like these big boy types of cards, and if you already have Red Hulk, like you don't need to get GORR. Like you really don't. Red Hulk is probably just fine too. GORR is better, I think,
I
probably.
don't know if you like negative. If you like Mr. Negative, I mean, can't
Oh
play
yeah,
Red
okay,
Hulk.
yes. If
Can't
you
play
like
Red Hulk.
negative, no, I know. I'm saying if you don't need this. Like, if you're an only Mr. Negative player, then yes, you should get this card. But like, who the hell's that out there? Not everyone.
I get what you're saying, but yeah, I guess my stance is definitely. I think you should get this card, but just don't be mad when it gets nerfed. He's gonna get hit probably.
Yeah, I think he's like not a must get, but if you already have like Red Hulk, but yeah, definitely better than Red Hulk in my opinion right now.
Yeah. I got lucky. I one tapped him too, so that was great.
Yeah. All right, let's go back. Let's go back a week. Let's talk about Fenris because GORR fucking great card, and we saw that coming. Just a big, massive 6-drop. I kind of actually one more thing about GORR is that and this is like not a knock against the team or anything like that, but I liked his old text that was Data Mined.
Oh yeah,
it was hilarious, and I thought it would have been a fun as fuck card. It was he was a 6/0, and it was destroy all 6-drops in the game wherever they are.
Yeah.
So like it was like on the board, in the deck, that kind of stuff. Oh,
in the
man,
hand probably.
Yeah, in the hand, in the deck, on board, like and for you and your opponent both. That would have been a cool card. Maybe it would have been too fucking busted, but that would have been a really cool card.
Yeah, I probably broke the game. Like better Killmonger for 6s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like your opponent just can't play. Like no one would just play 6-drops. That's probably why they didn't do that. Because like who would ever play a 6-drop then?
Yeah.
Like you just get killed for no reason.
They'll all be terrible. A lot of them are kind of bad already. It's like
yeah.
Imagine trying to play Orca.
Yeah, they should have brought that out in the Hella meta. That would have been funny.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. That's
countered Hella. Yeah. All right. But yeah. So, anyways, GORR, just a good card, just a big boy. Where is here we go. This guy. Fenris Wolf. Recap. He's a 2/3. Activate. Resurrect your opponent's highest power discarded or destroyed card on your side of this location. No big deal. What do you think?
So I like this card a lot. I've seen some mixed opinions on Twitter on this card a little bit. I think this card's awesome. I think he's really good as well. And this one might not get nerfed because, there are some conditions. He isn't activate. It's got a delay. You need a space on your board. There are some restrictions there. So maybe sitting duck for something like a Red Guardian. I don't know. But activate's pretty hard to counter overall. So I think this card's really sick. I felt like they have been releasing a few kind of boring good cards. Speed, boring good card, just 3 good stats. Malekith, same thing. He pulls out a card, but he's really it's a 4-cost good card basically, right? Malekith, it's just good stats for the cost, and that's kind of what he is. And then you got Anti-Venom that came out, same thing. 4/7, and you get upside, so it's just a good card. But to me, those are the kind of cards I like to skip. So I did. I skipped. I skipped Anti-Venom. I got Malekith, but and I skipped Speed as well. So Fenris to me is not like that. This is like pretty wild. I think you get some wild swings. I mean, if you bring back something with 10, it's a 2/13. Like and Shang-Chi, the card Shang-Chi kills things that are 10 or more power. So your minimum payoff with a Shang-Chi is at least a 2/13, and that could go up from there. And that you could always activate Fenris last, so you could always hold your Shang-Chi to turn 6. And the ceiling of this card's crazy. Now, if you want more reliable floor, then you play a card like Moon Knight. You play a card like Black Bolt. That ensures that you at least get like a 2/5, 2/6 value out of it. So I feel like this is just a sweet card. He's really fun to play on too. Your opponent doesn't know what the hell's going to happen. They're sweating, waiting, like, what are you going to kill? What are you going to discard? And it's a sweet, man. I love it, kid. What do you think?
Yeah, this is the card I was the most excited for. When we did like when we looked into all these cards, a month or two ago, whatever it was, because it was the most unique and it seemed like the most cool effect. And I didn't know if it was going to be the best, but I think it's a really good card. I like it a lot. You get, especially like, I don't think there's any chance this card gets nerfed, like unless something new in the game breaks this mechanic. As it is now, I think there's no way in hell it's getting nerfed. It's very situational. You have to kind of build your deck around it, or have some cards that either kill your opponent's cards or discard their cards, right? Like, so you need a Moon Knight, you need a Black Bolt, you need a Silver Samurai, which I haven't tried him in a Silver Samurai shell, which I think would kind of be cool actually, but to get that kind of deck. But
Samurai goes after lowest power. That's the only kind of downside with that, right? Yeah. Same with, I mean, I'm sure you've played it with Black Bolt. It's kind of similar to that, right?
Yeah, but just to have something, I don't know. There's a lot of Iron Mans and stuff around,
Yep.
GORR, like there's GORRs around, so like you can.
And Samurai always hits, which is nice because sometimes Moon Knight will whiff if they don't have an even cost in their hand. Yeah. So Samurai's more reliable that way and more power.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of discard in the meta, so you can get Draculas. You'll get GORR with Silver Samurai. Like, now the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, maybe we should play more Silver Samurai. Like, there's a lot of Iron Mans in the meta. There's a lot of stuff with low power. Like Mr. Negative's everywhere. So
yeah,
you probably get pretty decent value with him, to be honest, Samurai. But anyways, my point being, you have to, and if you're playing a destroy, like I've seen this guy in like Killmonger decks too. Like, he's probably not a bad Surfer card as well. Like, I don't really play that much Surfer, but like, you play Killmonger, you kill like 1/1 drop, you're still getting value from this card, right? And it's just something to do on turn 2.
Well, even in a deck like Surfer, I mean, you could play Cyclops and you might high roll,
Yeah.
Cyclops, or not Cyclops, sorry, Gambit. I meant Gambit.
Yeah. I know you meant.
Yeah, it says Cyclops, but yeah, the other X-Men, Gambit, or also Moon Knight. Moon Knight's a 3/3 as well. So you have multiple options there in a Surfer deck.
So he's pretty good, yeah. And I haven't tried him or seen him in a Destroy deck. Maybe when he first came out, I saw like a couple Destroy decks, but I mean, I don't know. I haven't tried that, so I don't know. But like, very unique card, very fun. And you know what you're getting too, because you know what the highest power discard or destroyed card is. So and he's decent in like against discard decks too. Like, if there's a lot of discard in them, and like there is right now, like, you don't have to draw your Black Bolt. Like, they'll discard cards for you, and he gets value. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of nice. And there's some locations too, like ones that like destroy their opponent's card, like Murderville, that kind of stuff. Like, you can sometimes just get value from locations. So yeah, I don't know. He was a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. And we'll go over decks with him too. But like the one deck I liked was one KM posted about a week or 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah,
with like Moon Knight, Black Bolt, Stature. Yeah, it was a really cool and fun deck. Like, I really liked it a lot.
Yeah, that was like one of the best decks in the game. Probably the best deck in the game for that week, right? Like that thing was smashing. I mean, I've pretty much exclusively played this guy in Mill. I didn't highlight the deck or anything, but I mean, I'll just read it out. If anybody's interested in deleting their opponent's deck, this deck's pretty sick, actually. Yondu, Cable, Fenris Wolf, Grandmaster. Get those double Yondus, double Cables. Then we got Magic, Moon Knight, Baron Zemo, Chadiator, Shang-Chi, Misery, Black Bolt Stature. So, it's nice because the mill deck I found before didn't have that much power, at the end of the day. Like, Black Bolt Stature gives it a lot of power. Misery's at 8 power on his own. Chadiator's always in there, but he's a 3/8. And then the Fenris can be like a 2/16 or something, right? So, pretty sweet that, you actually get some power in a mill deck now. And I'm having fun with Misery too, repeating the mill cards as opposed to, before Crazy was playing stuff like Absorbing Man, and it's just nice that Misery just has 8. And, they send a Goblin or some bullshit over, like, you always have some counterplay to that as well, which is nice. So I've been having fun with mill, and in mill, you're never worried about Fenris's condition. You always have it. And the sweet thing with Fenris is like, you think, something like Yondu sucks with Fenris because it's like you want their highest power. But that's the thing, Fenris always takes their highest power. So if you Yondu early, it's not like, now I have a chance to, spawn their Kitty Pride or whatever. It's like, no, it'll always go to the highest. So if I Chadiator something bigger later, if I Shang something later, then it'll always go to that instead of, there's no chance to bring back like Ghost Rider or something like that. So Fenris goes great with the mill deck, in my opinion, and I think it's like pretty legit, actually, especially against like Mr. Negative and these crazy combo decks. Like, mill's pretty sick against those. Yeah,
it was actually, you sent me that list. That I played it in the diner a little bit when it first came out. It was really fun in that list. Yeah, Gladiator is another card that works so well with Fenris and like just curves out so nicely too. Like, Gladiator obviously, if he if he swears and he fucks up, then
Then you
don't
set
get
up
the
your Shang-Chi,
value.
baby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go.
That's the way I look at it.
But yeah, he provides so much value, especially has such a nice curve with this card that it's like it's awesome actually. Like Gladiator's like destroy is like a huge upside with this card. It's really 3/8 just like insane. So yeah, and you get to play the Chat Eater. Let's be honest, right? Like,
Oh yeah,
it's great. You ever man, you're slamming that thing on the board, just smacking him down. but yeah. So yeah, I don't know. This card's sick. I love it. Such a cool design. GORR is like just not like fun design. It's just a big 6-drop, big boy 6-drop, which is cool enough.
I think
like,
GORR's fun design. I think it's fun design. It's cool. I like the condition of it. It's fun.
No, I know. I mean, just like it's a big boy. It's not like this is cool and like well thought out and like just like it's cool.
Yeah, sometimes you pull your opponent's, card and you're actually using the effect, like you pull their Shadow King, like you destroy their Shadow King with Yondu. I've had this happen. And it's like, oh, actually maybe I don't want to destroy anything for the rest of the game because now I just have Shadow King against a deck that maybe needs to get Shadow King. I see Athena on the board or something, right? It's like, oh, that's kind of sick. So yeah, you could actually use their cards, not just like GORR where it just gets big.
Yeah, it's kind of great too that you kind of know. Like, I've definitely had different scenarios where like I've destroyed something and like my opponent can't play in that lane now because of the thing. Like, if I destroy like their Goliath or something, like, well, I can't do anything in that lane. Like, the Fenris just wins, And I've had that happen to me too. Like, if they destroy like one of my main cards, I'm like, well, fuck, I can't play in that lane. I'm just gonna lose. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, or if I like, like if I'm playing like a lockdown deck or something and they have Fenris and I like storm a lane and like they play Fenris in there and they kill like a big card, I'm like, damn it.
It's rough.
Like,
yeah. That's a rough one. Yeah.
So like you kind of know, but it's good because like, like if they don't snap, like, like when to leave and when you're going to get owned. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it does work out nice. Like, it's a nice mind game that when you destroy like one of their key cards, you're like, am I going to play it or am I not?
Yeah.
Or like if you destroy like a Sarah or something, and then you could just like Sarah the next turn. It's like it's pretty sick. So yeah, you get their effects.
If you get a Sarah,
it's great. Yeah, like if Chat Eater kills a Sarah, and you're like, all right, turn 4 Sarah for me for free, plus the other cards I was gonna play. Like, you're done. Mm-hmm. But it's great. Yeah, no, that's why I like this card. It's just really fun. Like, there's a lot of different things that can happen, and it just makes the game like really cool. So let's talk about some of the decks. We'll read this deck since it's out right now. Mm-hmm. This is what I got from Cam Best from his Twitter. He just said Cam Good Night. And I think this is why I first played in the diner. Haven't really played too much ranked. Don't really care that much for ranked right now. Mm-hmm. Just grinding the diner is so much.
I mean, the bubs are out there. You gotta get them.
Well, yeah.
Once you fill up on bubs, then it's time to go back to the other modes.
I don't know about that.
We only got 2 weeks, on the diner. We gotta
keep doing the bubs. We'll talk about the diner, but let's talk about some of these decks. This deck, Cam's Goon Knight deck, it's Korg, Hydra Bob, Fenris Wolf, Cassandra Nova, Gambit, Juggernaut, Moon Knight, Black Widow, Proxima Midnight, Darkhawk, Black Bolt, and Stature. Moon Knight basically only targets Proxima. Fenris is the other even cost card, but almost 90% of the time, if you're playing Moon Knight, you're hitting Proxima, or you're hitting nothing in your hand and discarding something from their hand, which you can then Fenris Wolf later. Darkhawk's great for anti-Arashim tech because Arashim's everywhere. Cassandra Nova is great for anti-Arashim tech because Arashim is everywhere. Juggernaut is just a fantastic. The amount of games I won with this card as a surprise card on like turn 6, or even like a turn where people are setting like a Tribunal. Like, I know they're gonna set up like their Onslaught and stuff, and just completely cuck them out of that lane. Like, it's just such a good card right now. Like, I should have him in every single deck, and I don't. And like every time I play a deck with him, I'm like, holy fuck, this card's sick. Black Widow, obviously the new Black Widow, way worse than the old Black Widow.
Oh yeah, like, for sure. Yeah,
so much fucking like she should be a 3/5. I think like
it's still not fun to play against, though. I will say that.
Of course not.
Like, I thought it was gonna be even worse than it is now. Like, it still seems playable, you know?
Yeah, in this kind of deck with Darkhawk, yes, it's playable, but like delaying that Widow's Bite one turn, it just feels so bad.
Oh yeah.
And then like the thing about it too is like even if you have to play like Black Widow on turn like 4, then you can't Black Bolt in a deck like this. I guess like this is a this deck problem, because if you Black Bolt, you just destroy the Widow's Bite, and it's like, you know.
Well, you could do it in order. You could just do the order.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
You play Black Bolt, then you hit activate. You'll be okay.
You're right.
It's good. It's actually good because you kind of manipulate their hand, right? So to make sure you try to snipe the, not the Widow's Bite, right? Like you keep their shit in their hand. Only thing that sucks with Black Bolt in a deck like this is you hit rocks sometimes. But at least you're not playing a rock slide, so it's only Cork, you know?
Yeah, rock slide. And then Gambit's just fun. You know, sometimes just YOLO and discard something from your hand. You don't really care because you're killing them. Or you play them on turn 6 with Juggernaut, and it's insane. And yeah, Darkhawk's just huge. Always Stature's a 1/7 is just nice. Like, it's just a nice card.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
And then like Hydra Bob's pretty cool too, because like, you know, you can, if you time him right with your snaps, like you just throw him in lanes that like people can't get to. It's great. And then Fenris just works with everything. It's just this list was really fun. I enjoyed it a lot, especially against Arasham players.
Yeah, it's sweet. You smash Arasham. You have a lot of power, a lot of disruption, and some interaction on the board too. You know, that's the KM best. That's the classic, right? It's like mid-rangey with some interaction. That's, you basically sum up KM best like in those couple words there.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. This is a nice Fenris deck. I mean, there's so many decks that he can go into. He's a great 2-drop. If you have anything that can activate him, or like a couple cards that activate him, or if like discard or something's everywhere, like he's a really fun card. I like him a lot.
Yeah, and I love that's a great use of the activate mechanic is Fenris, you know?
Yeah.
He feels like an activate card. Actually, Black Swan too. I like Black Swans, which is a nice activate card.
Yeah.
You know, Hell Cow, kind of stupid in my opinion.
Hell Cow's stupid. I love it.
What is a 4-cost discard activate? I mean, that's dumb, you know? I like the old Hell Cow, man. I think it need to make them even more powerful. You know, they didn't take it. Maybe discard 3 random cards. You know, maybe get crazy, but you know. Yeah,
Aranya is a great activate card. Yeah, I like Aranya as an activate. Yeah. I don't really like Black Widow as an activate too much. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense. The old one made sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like when you want to play Black Widow, like you want that effect kind of right away. Like you want to just you want to do some disruption. 3/4 is not enough stats to put on the board for delayed disruption. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, anyway, I don't like it too much. But yeah, anyways, this is a cool deck, and the Proxima value is kind of cool as well with the Moon Knight. All right, let's talk about some of these. All right, let's talk about this. I want to talk about this. I want you to talk about this deck. This is your Frigga Mr. Negative with GORR. So why don't you tell the people about this one? Yeah, and then we'll get into the real no big deal spice. The real deck of the season.
You gotta see this because this is the shit that people are playing right now. Yeah, shit like this. Maybe someone's got a better version of this list, but you know, it's no secret. You got GORR. He's cracked. Put him in Mr. Negative. Makes him even more cracked. So this one's Ravonna, Agent Venom, Casanova, Mystique, Sage, Magic, Frigga, Mr. Negative, Wong, Iron Man, GORR, and Taskmaster. Talked pretty good detail on this. I believe it was in the Marvel Snap Variants episode. I was playing this, but instead of GORR, I was just playing Sunspot. I've seen some other lists. I've seen some cool ideas. If you don't have Frigga, don't frig out. Don't freak out. You know, just you could move her out for a Wolfsbane. I would say Wolfsbane's pretty good here, specifically because you get some Wong, Mystique, Wolfsbane, then you could copy that with Taskmaster, you know? So that's kind of the whole trick with the Taskmaster here. A card like Sage gets absolutely massive. If you activate Cassandra Nova multiple times, she could be really large, or, a card like Wolfsbane. And obviously, the card GORR gets huge. If GORR's a 0/6, I mean, then he gets his plus 22 on top. We're talking about 28, so you could drop 2 28s on the last turn. Taskmaster has just a bunch of sweet targets in this deck. And definitely this deck did take a bit of a hit with the Agent Venom. Agent's Venom putting everything in a Mr. Negative deck to 4 power is pretty crazy. If you want to play Psylocke there and play it a little more traditional, you can. But I've played around with this deck, and I still really like the Agent Venom. He's an absolute fucking brick if you don't draw him early. You get the negative line and you pull out a fucking 5/2 Venom. I mean, it's pretty miserable, but getting him at 2 just feels great to me. Feels to me better than I have to get the Psylocke, then I have to get the negative. It's more of a stars line. I could just play Agent Venom whether I draw Mr. Negative or not. It now doesn't matter. I'm now just playing a sick Agent Venom deck with a bunch of awesome value. So I like the Agent Venom Ravonna, but obviously these are flex cards, and Mr. Negative deck, they're everywhere right now, and they're extremely powerful. You easily get like 100 power into different lanes easily.
Yeah, it's crazy. I got clapped up by a few of these decks in the diner because like I don't in these like stupid modes like the diner. I don't care to leave too much. Like I kind of like seeing these big combo things pop off, and like yeah. I got clapped up by a bunch of Taskmaster shenanigans like in decks just like these. It's kind of funny to see. Like it's kind of just like impressive. Like you're not mad like losing your bubs to that kind of stuff. You're like, this is great. If you're trying to grind, then, smartly, like if you're not being a complete idiot like I am, then obviously you leave when they fucking have Mr. Negative and they're snapping.
Yeah.
But if you're like, I can do this, then, you're going to get clapped up hard. Yeah. The Taskmaster stuff is insane. And then especially like some of the decks, like they have like Jane Foster as well. And it's like, yeah, it's just like, it's crazy. But yeah, this kind of deck is kind of good because like you have 3. I like how you have 3 kind of different lines that like not like backup plans, but like kind of build off each other. Make each one makes the other line a little bit worse, but it's still like better for consistency, but like less ceiling, I would say. Like You can just play it. You can just be a Ravonna deck, right? Mm-hmm. So you just have Ravonna. You don't draw Agent Venom or Mr. Negative. Your Cassandra, Mystique, Sage, Iron Man, GORR, and Taskmaster are all -1 cost. So like that's pretty sick, right? Like it's awesome. If you don't draw Ravonna, if you have Agent Venom, that's great. You play Agent Venom on you have 2/5, then everything in your deck has 3 power and it's good. They all get better, and you just play an Agent Venom kind of deck. And if that falls apart, then you draw and you have Mr. Negative, right? You hope you draw one of those 3 within the first 3 to 4 turns. The nut is obviously Ravonna and then negative on 3, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But yeah,
Magic,
like
in the Magic,
yeah,
nice,
yeah, exactly. And like you said, like if you do Mr. Negative and you draw Agent Venom, like that's a brick. But like that's kind of the price you pay for the consistency of being able to have all the lines instead of just hoping and praying that you draw Mr. Negative on 3 or 4 and getting that. So
yeah,
it's kind of cool.
My logic was like, Psylocke's kind of a brick too. Like, I mean, she's kind of not, but she really is. Like 2/2, and you generally just don't need the power in a deck like this. Like your shit's either costs 0 or it doesn't. Like like the 1 extra power on a delayed turn. Like it rarely comes up in my experience. I've played a lot of these decks where and I've played my share of Psylocke on top of a Wong or on top of a Wong Mystique. Like I've done it multiple times. Okay, so I get it. But like the Venom to me is just like like an actual play line. Like you now you don't need your Mr. Negative, so you're not like all in. And I also like that's why I took Jane Foster, out of here.
LaFonda.
Yeah, Jane Fonda, because to me, like if they go negative into Jane Foster, it's auto retreat every time. I always retreat personally if I see that. So I want people to stay in the game and get clapped. And kind of not know what hit them. So that's the only reason. I think if you're optimizing for power and you don't care about snaps and retreats, Jane Foster's great, and you're just going for wins and win percentage. Like the second you play her, you win, right? So, or they have a Goliath or something, and then you lose, so you win 8 or you lose. I don't know. So I like a little bit of ambiguity. They maybe think they're in the game and you still clap them up even without like playing Mr. Negative, for example, or playing like turn 5 Mr. Negative or something stupid,
Yeah. I like and I like too like that just with having Agent Venom in here, like it lets you pick a lane early, If you draw your Agent Venom, you play him on 2, you know what you're doing the rest of the game. Mm-hmm. You're not a negative deck anymore, you're just playing an Agent Venom deck, right? Mm-hmm. If you have Ravonna and you don't have Agent Venom or Mr. Negative, like you're doing Ravonna stuff, maybe you'll play Mr. Negative later. Like if you draw him, like that might be a thing that you do. But like it just allows you to mentally like just be in a lane, not like if you have Psylocke instead of Agent Venom, then you're just gonna play Psylocke on 2 and just hope you draw Mr. Negative or whatever. You know, like it's kind of just like and then, like later on in the game, do I want to play a 2/2 to get 1 extra energy later on? Like, does it matter that much in this kind of deck? In my experience too, not really. Like, you know, maybe for really good players it does somehow. Like, I don't know, but like for me, not really. Like, if you're gonna, you know, that's basically just to get the extra thing for negative, and if you don't draw negative, then like you kind of just have another brick. So it's like, why not just have a card that can, you know, make you have a whole line in your deck that's good, you know? So yeah. I don't know. How do you like the? I guess since we're on this kind of, how do you like the Agent Venom change? So now you've had like a couple weeks to play with it.
I still would have done it the other way, you know, but I think it's good. I think the change I think did its job. The card feels a lot weaker, and it's still people forget it's a fucking 2/5 still, you know. So it's not like, I don't think it's a bad card still, you know, because it's a 2/5 and in a few decks 2/5 with upside. So to me that's just good. I mean, especially on curve, it's unbelievable, and you know. I think the nerf did its job, but I would have liked to see a serious base power nerf, you know, 2-0 maybe, something crazy, and keep everything 4, because I like the combo bullshit. You know, I'm a hella gamer, you know, combo bullshit ceiling stuff. So yeah, I like playing these kind of bullshit decks. So to me, they kind of just they took some of the fun out of the card at least, but I do think it's still good.
Yeah, I would have liked to keep the 4 as well, because I like that kind of shit too. I think it's fun. It's more fun to have these like big pop offs. I get why they did it, but yeah, like a 2/5 is fucking crazy. Like, this card's still really good. Like a 2/5 is crazy.
Yeah.
Let me say that again. Like, that's and usually this is like for upside.
Yeah, like Silk is like hard sometimes to control what lane she ends up in. You know, and like it's like kind of a 2/5 with some downside. You know, like Hydration Robber can move around. Like, you know, sometimes you don't want the shit to move around. Agent Venom, he's always a 2/5 exactly in the lane you want him to be in, you know? Like, yeah,
and you're not you know, like, you're not playing him in decks where it's gonna ruin your deck. Like, you're not playing him when you have like Magneto and the Infinite in your deck or stuff, shit like that, right? Like, you're not playing him in those kind of decks. So like the 3 power to all your cards in the deck is like never a downside in these lists. Right? And he's a 2/5. So like it's fucking ridiculous, man. Anyways. But yeah, so that's this deck. Let's go to the real spice of the season. No big deals at it again. Well, the guy's cooked. I use this to get King Etri. Yeah. You know, the no big deal. He got a headband finally for this week, and it seems to have slowed the brain cells seeping from his ears, because he really thought long and hard about this and came up with something really good, I thought. Yeah. So you know, tell us about this. Tell us about this. And you know, it's back to the basics for you. You know, this is your bread and butter a year and a half ago.
This is a classic. This is a classic. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all-time classic, really. I mean, I've been playing this for like 2 years now. So. Yeah, man. This is a lockdown list.
Surprise.
Yeah. So it just, you know, the thing with the lockdown list is sometimes they're great in the meta, and sometimes they're not. You know, sometimes there's 3/5 Nocturne in every deck, and she ruins your life, and you can't play lockdown when that's the case. You know, right now there's you don't see any Nocturnes running around, so we don't have to worry about the natural predator. You don't even see Jeff. Nobody even plays Jeff anymore. Jeff's pretty good against decks like this. You know, do you see Doctor Doom? You seen a bunch of Doctor Doom out there? No, you don't see any of this shit. No Miss Marvel. Nobody's playing cards that beat lockdown right now. You can just fucking lock them down, and they can't do shit. Everybody is waiting till turn 6 to play their GORR, their Mystique, you know, play all their bounce stuff, you know, drop Darkhawk Stature, whatever. Like, you're waiting for turn 6. None of that shit matters if we lock you down and we Eliath you in another lane. It's fucking GG. So we got the classic list here. Oh, and I want to shout out real quick before saying the whole list, Control-Alt-Snap in the Filthy Casual.
Yay.
So shout out Control-Alt-Snap. He dusted off, I think it was a Surfer list. He's like, I don't know why people aren't playing Mobius. This is right when GORR came out. This is like the day GORR came out. He's like, because I was trying, you know, some other tactics, try to counter the GORR, like Super Scroll, just crazy stuff, you know? And he's like, why aren't people just playing Mobius and Mobius? Like, He just, and what he did was I remember now, he put a Mobius into his Mr. Negative deck. He's like, I'm playing Mr. Negative with Mobius. So he's just playing the same GORR negative bullshit everybody was playing, but with Mobius, you just win the mirror when you play your Mobius. It's ridiculous. So Mobius is really good into these Mr. Negative lists, and a lot of people to beat the Mr. Negative lists are playing Living Tribunal. Because Living Tribunal, Mr. Negative, you get 80 power in the lane, you get 60. You get a 40 and a 50. You're playing, Iron Man Mystique, right? GORR negative. You get 100 if you really pop off. Living Tribunal, you should get like 3 million on each lane. It doesn't fucking matter. So copy the Onslaught, and then Mobius is extremely good against that as well. Like absolutely nukes that deck because it plays Sarah. So this deck is Nebula, Zabu, Ebony Maw, Goose, Daredevil, Morbius, Red Guardian, Miss Marvel, Storm, War Machine, Crossbones, and the one change that we made from the Lauren Whatev's podcast to now is Eliath. This used to be an Infinite. This is it's a lockdown list. It owns GORR. GORR can't do anything against this deck because, they can't discount it, first of all, so they got to pay full price. And GORR, he doesn't take priority because, you play him last. So Eliath just punches the GORR in the head. Or if they try to GORR somewhere, Mystique somewhere else, the Mystique's now done. You shut off both if you hit the GORR with the Eliath. So early in the game, you want to play like a Nebula, something like this. You could play your Ebony Maw. You could play Goose, Ebony Maw, something like this. Starting off to play your small cards in a lane. Then say you do have a Nebula sitting in that lane, you can lock that lane down with Storm. Then any time in the game, there's many ways to add to your Storm lane, like Miss Marvel, for example. She can add 5 power. War Machine lets you just play in that lane all you want. Nebula is going to keep increasing in power every turn. And if you have Daredevil, you get to see exactly what they're playing on the Storm lane. And that was ultimately, Daredevil Storm ended up getting me my my last 4 million win to get King Eitri a couple days ago when I got him. So both of us played this deck to get King Eitri new card in the diner. So that's pretty hilarious. And so you lock down one lane. You very easily acquire priority because they're holding all their shit till turn 6 to pop off. Like Mr. Negative decks, they're playing fucking card that says -1 on it. So that's pretty easy to get prio against a deck that plays on -1. So then you play Eliath and you shut it all off and it's GG. And it's an absolute blast to play.
Yeah, it's great. I think one of the other boys got King Etri using this list as well.
Sick.
Chat. So nice. It's pretty sweet. And so, this list is just like you said, it's just great. It's just so good in this meta right now. Daredevil star card right now. Miss Marvel, very underutilized card. Not hard to get her to pop off in this list. War Machines is so fun to play. You just, even if you fuck up the Storm lane, War Machine can bail you out. It's great. Zabu if you get Zabu early, this list pops. It's almost a snap condition. This list just pops off even harder.
I used to snap with Zabu on one when I was playing it before. Yeah.
Because it's kind of crazy. Like if you get a 3/5 Storm, a 3-cost Miss Marvel, 3-cost War Machine. 3-cost War Machine is ridiculous. I got that like the game. That game got me the King Etri game. Like I snapped. Like I'm like, all right, we're in. Like Zabu 3-cost War Machine. I'm like, this is fucking crazy. Like,
yeah.
And I had a Storm in my hand. I'm like, they're fucked. There's nothing they can do about this right now. Like,
yeah,
it's great. The one thing I wanted to add, and Eliath obviously is just is great. And yeah, I just wanted to just flex a little bit with this new food variant. You got this.
Oh my god, this is a god split. This is a.
He's eating. This is a great god split. So every time there's a new Eliath variant, I have to get it because I have this god split, and I put the rainbow border. But look at him eating the cat.
I love it with that variant. Yeah, this is perfect.
I know, it's sick.
Oh man, that's beautiful.
Yeah. All right. Enough about that. But yeah. So this is just like a really really fun list. And maybe like I wanted to ask you a couple things about this list. And it's really good in this meta right now. It's like it eats so well. It kills everything. It's really nice. Two things. One for me, and maybe this is just like the Iceman effect, but like I feel like Goose a lot of time doesn't do as much as I want it to. But maybe it is, and I'm just not realizing it. Maybe it is really screwing them over, and I'm just like, it's screwing them over. There's a lot of smaller stuff, so I feel like But I do enjoy playing Goose. What do you think about Goose? Like, you think Goose is essential in this kind of list?
I don't think it's essential, but I like Goose a lot in here.
Yeah.
Goose is, you don't always get like a good storm off. Sometimes you're playing against decks that like already have a lot of power, so even if you play the storm, it like doesn't do anything, So Goose is kind of like if you have a storm lane and a Goose lane, like it might just be over. Like you might not need to do Goliath or anything, Or War Machine, like you simply have Goose, Mobius, Storm can just outright win you the game. Just with those three cards. I think with the card Mobius, Goose is extremely powerful because then they can't Sarah duck into the lane. And the thing is, you're making them play full cost, and everybody's playing fucking GORR and Darkhawk, And so, and if they're playing Stature, you have Mobius, So they don't get to play a 1/7 in your Goose lane. You get to play Ebony Maw, and you get to play whatever the fuck you want if you have the card War Machine on the board,
Yeah.
So, I just think the synergy is just unbelievable. Also, Miss Marvel's just great with Goose as well. Like, just
That's
a
true.
free 5. Even if you don't have War Machine, you don't, have Mobius or something, but you could actually just add 5, without even having to play in the lane. I like it. Nebula with Goose is really good. Because if Nebula goes off like twice, it's a 1/5. It's just going to be hard for them to, spend less than 3 power and get 5 power into the lane. It's just hard. And then if they do, play something small like Athena that scales, you could play like Red Guardian and punch it, So I really like Goose in here. If Mobius wasn't in here, I would definitely consider taking her out though. I mean, you could put like a Jeff kid, like Jeff's pretty good in here.
Yeah, no, I'm not like I do like Goose. Like it's a nice two power card, 2 cost card and 2 power, I guess too. But that it probably does do a lot. And I just wanted to hear your explanation. That was a very good explanation. I didn't take it out because I'm like I felt like I'm like this card is doing stuff, and it's just nice to splash to a 2 cost card somewhere. Another card I wanted to ask you about because I do feel the rest are pretty essential. Like Red Guardian is doing some work for me, but I thought about this, when I was talking about the other list, like, would a Juggernaut do more work than the Red Guardian? Like, especially
Red
with Storm?
Guardian, you could change absolutely. I want to say one quick thing I did want to point out with Goose as well is, obviously it's a Zabu deck. Goose into Crossbones, especially if you have Mobius out, is like really, really, really strong, right? Like just playing a Crossbones into a Goose lane, they can't Shang-Chi your Crossbones now, So just having a 10 power, like there's almost like no counter in the game to that. Like Mobius, Goose, Crossbones, like it's hilarious. So I just wanted to close on that.
That's
but
true.
for you were asking about Red Guardian, I think when I made this deck, it was like discard. Scorn just came out, and everyone's playing discard, so I might have just like threw them in to deal with like Dracula mostly. And also there was a lot of Iron Man, it was Agent Venom meta, right? So Iron Man was everywhere. I'm trying to punch these Iron Mans, punch, opposing Nebula, stuff like that. Athena was fucking everywhere, like Athena was, just everywhere. So
Yeah.
even if you hit a Kitty Pryde too, hitting a Kitty Pryde feels amazing with Red Guardian. So I just, that's a tech card, kid. So if you feel like,
Yeah, no, I just wonder her Jug. Like, Jug would probably be pretty sweet because then, like, you pretty much, even if you don't draw War Machine, like, you kind of guarantee your Storm lane if you play the Jug there, right? Like,
well, Jug is spooky. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, Storm Juggernaut is a classic, but it also works against you, right? If you want to Jug a different lane, you could hit him into your Storm lane. And that's no good. You can hit him into your Goose lane. So you're trying to lock a lane down with Goose, trying to lock a lane down with Storm,
That's
and then
true.
you Jug the other lane, and you're hitting them into your lockdown lane. So it's for me. That's not how I like to just fully lock. Especially this is for Diner. In the Diner, the stakes are so high. Like by turn 4, like I don't even have to snap most of the time because the game just fucking snaps for you. So like, and then I like to have just total, like this is totally locked down. This is totally locked down, and you can't just leave for 1 cube. Like you have to give me like 2 million bubs, if you want to get out of this game, and you can't do anything because, and so Jug could, maybe you get fucked by RNG. It probably wouldn't happen that often. Jug's probably pretty good in here because Jug's just a sick card and just good with Storm. But yeah, that I would say if you are gonna put Jug in, watch you don't move stuff into your lock.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I actually really enjoyed Red Guardian. I'm just like talking, just like just trying to feel it out in case people want to make some swaps and stuff like that. Yeah, and the Red Guardian, like he nailed an Iron Man for me. Fenris, I nailed one of those today, which is great. Like so, like they're like if they want to discard something from my hand, they don't get any payout from it. You know, Athena's I've nailed, like you said, like there's those cards are still out there, and like there's a lot of discards still. So like getting a Mobius or a Morbius or a Dracula, like
Morbius
feels,
and Drac are the
feels so nice to nail with Red Guardian. You know, it's great, and then any Tribunal stuff too, like. It's just a good card. But yeah, so it's a great list. You know, I highly recommend the people out there, you know, try this. Cards that are probably key for this to have that you need. Obviously, War Machine, I think for sure is key.
Yeah.
What's the card that people wouldn't have? Like Miss Marvel's really good, but like you probably don't need her.
You could replace Miss Marvel, yeah.
But she's really good. You don't need her. I would definitely say War Machine and probably Eliath.
Yeah, I think you need Eliath.
I think you need Eliath in this meta.
Yeah, just for this meta is like Eliath beats everything. Nobody's playing for priority.
He's done so much work. The other cards most people should have, right? Like they're all pretty basic cards. Like maybe you don't have Mobius, but like again, you don't need him, but he's really good right now.
Yeah, this is a deck I was already running Mobius in, and it wasn't even a good Mobius meta when I built this deck, but it works really good with the Goose and stuff. So
yeah,
yeah,
sweet. All right, let's get into the diner. What the fuck am I doing here? There we go. Let's get into the diner. Diner's fucking great.
I have the like exact same amount of bubs as you.
Yeah, I just got the King Entry today. Like I said, like I didn't play that. I haven't played that much last week, but I started grinding a lot this week, and so
I
got to
might
it pretty
go for
casually.
the gold Cosmic just to see if we can do it. You know.
What? Oh, up there? Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna keep playing, and if I get to it, I get to it. That's great. Like, but yeah, it's just it's awesome. Maybe people will be donating too, and who knows? But I mean, this game mode, there's been a lot of people. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. There's been a lot of people that just have been shitting on this. They're pissed that they brought this back and didn't change anything. But like, I think like we fucking knew, and they said that it was gonna be basically the same. Like, I don't know what the hell they were expecting. Like. Can't create a new fucking game mode every single month. Yeah. This is still really fun. I've been enjoying the hell out of this mode. I just love it. I love when the stakes get raised. And like you were saying before, like what were you were saying that you're like most of the time you don't even have to snap, and like with your lockdown list, I feel like just in general with any list, with any time I've played in Diner, like people just like wait for the snap, like this the snap, the auto snaps, like people just like pretend like they don't like 99% of the time they pretend like they don't exist, like they're just playing a regular game, and it's like it's only when you snap that then people are like, oh, then they leave. So it's like it's almost in your best interest. It's like if you're really good, just don't even snap.
Yeah, it feels like it's negative EV to snap. Like I feel like the only good snaps are when they snap, if you want to just go max immediately. Because they're not just going to leave after they snap. And if you're feeling good, so snap back might be the only like positive equity snap in the diner. Yeah, you really don't need to snap.
Yeah. But yeah, so the rewards are pretty fucking sick this time, I gotta say. And I think the first, I don't know if it's the first two, but like the first one for sure, like the first like dish or whatever, is just all bots. Like I think I played a few and I was only playing bots. So they fixed that issue, I think, with the first one, where you're just like you're not going all in and losing your bubs. I mean, you still can if you lose the bots, but like.
Well, okay, let me say this. So I think this was a point of contention I saw on Twitter, and this is where I would like them to improve it if they could. I mean, it's a simple fix, The first dish is cranberry sauce. And it's 8 bubs.
What am I doing? Sorry.
Oh, is your diner crash?
No. I just keep clicking out. I pushed this arrow. I thought it was gonna go back to the first one, and then it left the diner. I'm just being an idiot. I'm sorry.
You got this cranberry sauce dish, right? And the thing with this is 8 bubs is literally nothing, even at the start. Like it's nothing. All right, it's just you feel like you're just getting crumbs. You're being fed crumbs, no bubs. Just like it does nothing for you. If anything, it makes you more hungry. Eating crumbs. So. Then if you go to the next dish, you might go busto immediately. So, kid, if you want to scroll to the right, we get the moon cakes.
Yeah.
This, you kind of start with like 320 bubs or something like that at the beginning. And I didn't experience this last time because last time I won my first like 10 matches in a row. This time, I busted my first 3 days in a row. So like, I went in there. I just I tried to play cranberry. Okay, whatever. Yeah, like you said, beat up a couple bots, but you get like 16 bubs. Like it does nothing. So it's like, all right, go to the mooncakes and just one shot. I'm out. It's like, all right, now I gotta wait till tomorrow for my shit to regenerate. So next day, log in, fucking bust out mooncake like shit. So I think making a 40 bub table would be good. Start with the same. And maybe even instead of cranberry sauce, like forget this fucking 8 bub thing. Like let's move that up to 40. You could play some actual small stakes, and then you don't have to. You're not forced to play on the mooncakes right away because mooncakes one shot you. But if there was a 40, then you would have to lose like 3 or 4 in a row before you go busto at the beginning. So at least I think it would eliminate a lot of the feels bad for people. And the other gap is right before you get King Eitri. Luckily, I got lucky this time. I didn't have to deal with it, but I actually dealt with this last diner where there's just a huge gap. The Bub Mart is at 600K. So yeah, you see this Jello thing.
Oh, look.
Yeah. The Bub Mart, 600K. And then King Eitri's 15 million, right?
Yeah.
And there's no Bub Mart. So if you lose all your bubs, you wait till 8 hours, you only go up to 600K.
Well,
so
yeah, I was gonna say, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. That's the one thing right now that I'm experiencing that I don't like how they put this Bub Mart at 30 million. I had just got the 15 million bubs. I have 15 million, and I'm like, if I lose, like I'm fucked. I'm going to 600K. I'm never getting back up to this. Yeah. I mean, you spend your gold, but like. And you can because it's additive, right? Like you will get up to it, but like it seems like a pretty big gap. It'd be nice if it was
the 2.5 mil, the 2.5 mil right there, the gold thing on the right.
Yeah,
yeah. If it goes 600 to 2.5, then it's like okay, you just got to double up a couple times from 6, and then you can, or like you said, the 7.5, either one. Yeah.
Yeah, and the one thing also that I didn't like, which I wish they would have, you couldn't buy bubs right away.
Oh, I don't know.
The bub shop was locked out for a little bit, like because I honestly just wanted to skip the first 2. Like I was willing to make like a little bit of a gold investment just to like, because I was like crashing on the first one too, and like I didn't really have much time to grind. I'm like, you know what, I just want to buy some bubs, and just progress to like let's say like ham or something, whatever the hell, like just to the next Bub Mart, like to and it wouldn't have been like a huge gold investment. But like you weren't, I forget when I got unlocked, the Bub shop became unlocked. I don't know when it is, but like, yeah, you couldn't just buy it at the beginning. You had to grind. I was like, oh, fuck you guys. Just let me just get to like a Bub Mart. Let me pay to like a Bub Mart or something, but yeah. So yeah, now I'm at like pumpkin pie and like, I got 3.98 million bubs. So like, if I was smart, I wouldn't be playing at pumpkin pie and I would just be playing at like the Jello and just kind of grind my way up a little bit.
Yeah.
But, of course I'm going to fucking play pumpkin pie. Like, there's no way I'm not playing pumpkin pie.
It's American Thanksgiving. It's American Thanksgiving right now.
And I'm gonna crash out sooner or later, and I'm gonna max out at 600K, and then I'm gonna be sad.
What's more American than that? Pumpkin pie.
That's gonna happen. So there's no fucking way I'm just grinding on Jello. I'm going to pumpkin pie with this lockdown deck. It's gonna be great. So I might get lucky and be able to get up to the 30 million Bub Mart. But chances are, and good chances are, I'm not going to. I'm going to crash out and be like, all right, whatever. But
yeah, I'm in the same position. I'm at 8.5 million, but the second I unlock the 10 million dish, I'm going right to it, and we'll see how high we can get.
Yeah,
if we go to zero, we go to zero.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But that's also the thing I want to talk about this mode too is that like it's casual and it's fun, and I don't fucking care if I bust out. It's great. Yeah. I think it's hilarious. Like I'll do it. I'll bust out. I'll only be able to max out 600K, and who gives a shit? Yeah. I'm going in. The stakes are big. I'm having fun, and like you don't lose anything. Am I gonna lose like a fucking Jane Foster variant? No, I don't really care about the Jane Foster variant.
No.
Jane Foster variant is also in the what's it called? The Conquest. Probably not gonna get that, to be honest with you. I haven't barely played the first half of this month, so.
I mean, the Dan Hip one's really. I have the Dan Hip one. It's really nice.
I mean, yeah, I have the Inhyuk Lee one. It's fucking great too. So like, I might not even get these, and like, it's not that big of a deal. But like, getting up to this point, they did have some really good rewards. Like, you got some credits, you got some copper borders, like gold mystery variants. More copper borders here, more gold. You got a title, mystery variant.
Yeah, there was tokens. Like there was a pretty good amount of tokens too. Like one of the
500.
Yeah. Oh, 400. Yeah, 500 tokens is awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's sick. Imagine getting that in Conquest. Imagine a 500 tokens in Conquest. I mean, you'd lose your fucking mind. Like,
Yeah,
you
it's
know, they give you
sweet.
like 100 credits and like for beating Infinity Conquest. You
Yeah.
know.
Oh, yeah, like a gold metallic, like look at this, 6 gold metallic borders right here. Like that's
Yeah.
900 gold each. So if you want to actually buy one, like it's pretty good. Like I think the copper is probably around there too.
Yeah,
You know,
Cosmics at the top too. It's really
premium
nice.
mystery variant. There's three. There's cosmics right before Etri too.
Oh,
Three
you get
gold
both. Yeah, it's
cosmics.
great.
That's
Yeah.
900 more there. Like
Mhm.
it's pretty awesome. Like so I feel like the rewards are pretty good, and
Yeah.
it's not hard to get these ones too, right? Like
Mhm.
I'm just being a complete fucking fool in this mode, and I've already got the King Etri, and I didn't start playing right away. Like it was like I was still extremely busy. So I love this mode. I'm happy they brought it back. If they bring it back every like once a quarter, I'm gonna be fucking happy. Like I don't know why people are mad about them bringing this back, it being the same. Which yeah, of course it's the same. Like high voltage was great too. Like high voltage was fucking awesome as well. But it's just two different. It's different things. Like you can't have the same thing every time. You're gonna get sick of it. If I this is a personal thing. If I had to like change something about this mode, like a dramatic change, I would make it make it 5 turns instead of 6. Like
Ooh.
I like the faster paced. Like
Yeah.
I liked high voltage more, but I understand this is something different. But the 6 is just like regular Snap. Like in like these casual modes, I like them to be a little bit faster.
Yeah,
So
that makes
like
sense.
if they took a turn off, like, it doesn't have to be 3, and just make it 5 and then see what happens, and give extra energy or whatever if you want on the last turn or something, whatever they want to do. I don't care. We're give like 1 extra energy per turn. Who cares?
Everyone's
You're,
Irish.
yeah, you're in our everyone's Arsham. They get 1 extra energy per turn, and then there's only 5 turns in the game,
I love it.
right? So
Yeah.
that means like you're ending with almost the same amount of energy, like you're one down energy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that'd be fun. Something that's a little quicker. Like I like the faster paced stuff. It's if I'm doing a casual fuck around mode where I'm going all in all the time, like for it to be faster is more fun for me.
Yeah, for sure.
And then and with that, like if you're gonna be faster, all in, fast paced, I think I agree with let the first dish be something where if you don't crash out, you don't have to play 400 games to get to the second
Yeah,
dish.
8 is just is so bad. Like
Yeah. But you are playing against really dumb bots, so like oh yeah, you get 32 is all in.
Yeah,
So
that's terrible. It's got to be 40. It's got to be 40, and then it's 160 all in. Then because 160 gets you to the mooncakes, right?
Yeah,
So
they
and then
should
even
they
if
should
you bust at mooncakes, you can wait a couple hours and then play instead of having to wait a whole 8 hours for getting one shot. You run into
yeah,
one battle
like
RNG.
just let
Bar,
people grind against bots. And I think that's a good thing that they did is they made the cranberries. So that was the first like positive change. The first the one last time was like you're playing against players all the time.
Yeah.
In the first dish. This one, I think you play it like a bot your first game. This one, I think you're only playing bots. Am I wrong? Like I think I played. Like
I don't
4 or
know
5
because
games.
I went straight into mooncakes. I never clicked the cranberries one time.
Oh yeah, I think I played a few of it because I think there was a bot. I'm like, let me see if it's still bots. I think I played a couple and I got a few bots right away. So
I had some bots along the way in general, even outside of the first two. Personally,
oh maybe yeah,
I would occasionally get a bot. Yeah,
maybe I did. I don't remember. Yeah,
I
maybe
think
it's
if
like
the queue
ladder.
time goes long enough, it just gives you a bot. That was
Yeah.
the impression I got.
Yeah, that makes sense. Kind of like ladder. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think the exclusive bots is great on the first one. And yeah, this is it's good. I don't know. I don't know why people are mad about it. It's fucking new mode. It's a free reward. It's a free card. Like, fuck off. Like, I don't know what
Yeah,
else
I was
to
gonna say,
like.
as someone I was mostly like playing, spamming the bazaar for like a week. Deadpool's Diner brought me all the way back. I just put down the bazaar. I'm like, the diner's here. Like, let's fucking go. And it's
Yeah.
still so fun. I love the diner. I don't care that I busted out 3 times in a row. Like, to me, that's part of the fun. Like, it feels that much
Yeah.
better when you get the fucking rally and you try to get to the top, or at least get to the next bub mart, then bust out. And it's like, okay, I made a little bit of progress. We'll come back tomorrow and we'll have 20K bubs. We'll get to 60K. And I love the progression. All my criticisms are minor tweaks. I think overall, if they bring it back exactly the same again, I'm gonna play it again. Like it's just great. I love it. I think we're suggesting little tweaks here and there that but it's not something I would say. Oh, like Marvel Snap's cooked. Like the diner sucks. Like it was sick last time. It's sick now. I think the thing with Marvel Snap that is kind of rough is overall its card acquisition, and I mean we've talked about it ad nauseum on this podcast. And I think the more time that goes on, people are just going to get more angry about card acquisition in general, right? There's 5 cards coming out every month. People are going to run out of money eventually, and there are new other games coming out. So people, I think that's the main issue. Let's not take it out on the diner, which is just an absolute thing of beauty, and it's so much fun to play.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. I completely love the diner, and even just before going to bed at night, you're just like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking all in a bunch of times and just see what happens.
Hey. And regens overnight.
It's so good. Yeah. The problem is if you win a couple in a row, you're like, fuck, do I go? I'm not gonna. You're like, I'm not gonna regen. It's like, no, you gotta keep going. You gotta just keep going. It's awesome. It's the frustrating thing about that is I'm snapping on one before the game even starts, and people are just leaving. And I'm like, God damn it!
Then you
I just want to all in. You just want to find someone just to YOLO all in. But yeah, so it was.
But I like that a lot though. All the other modes in the game are not like that. Whether it's conquest or ladder or even high voltage, all of them are. You could just put this down and leave at any time, and it doesn't matter. Diners when you get rolling, you gotta think about a game that's gonna force you to play late at night. That's usually a pretty good game. Because you can't put it down and you should be sleeping and you don't. That just means it's a good video game, right? We all relate to that, back to our childhood, so.
Yeah.
The diner does that. The diner can do that. Once you get rolling, you got to stay, because if you leave, then you're wasting all this free equity that you could have gotten from free regeneration at the bookmark. So
it's true.
You got to punt it all.
Yeah. And the last thing I'll say about the diner is that, because I've been so busy earlier this month, with real life shit, I haven't played that much. I haven't got the infinite. And to be quite honest, I'm probably, this is gonna be the first time in, unless I do something heroic, but this is gonna be the first time in a year that I haven't got infinite. But I don't really care, because I'm having so much fun. I can't see myself every time I play ladder, I'm just I don't want to fucking do this. I want to be the diner. I just want to be the diner. This is so I'm probably not gonna get the conquest variant, which I don't care. I'm probably not gonna get infinite, which I don't care.
You should rally to 90. You should rally to 90. Get the 500 gold.
I'm almost at 90. I'm almost at 90.
That's good. I think that's the key. Infinite doesn't matter. You got to get the 90 though. 90.
Yeah, I say so much. Yeah, I say that all the time. Is 90 is what really matters, because the 500 gold is great. Yeah. So I'll probably grind it to 90 at some point. But maybe the no big deal lockdown deck will have some magic.
Oh, that'll get you to 90 for sure.
Yeah, but even if I don't, it'll be because of the diner, and I'm just having too much fun in this fucking spot. Just going for it. So it's awesome. I love it. I love that it's back. I hope they keep bringing it back, because it's a lot of fun, and I hope the matches are good, and just a few people whining that don't like it. But yeah, this is great. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about the diner, man.
Enough said, bub.
Enough said, bub. All right, let's talk about the cards for next month. Which,
December cards. It's hype. Holiday season.
We haven't looked at these. I think I looked at the Bruce Banner once. But yeah, I don't even know what the season pass card is. Oh, it's Galacta. Okay, so this is a Marvel Rivals crossover. So Marvel Rivals is the first-person shooter Marvel game that just came out, and they're I think they're doing a crossover with Snap, Fortnite. I don't know, Marvel Dazzle Quest, whatever the hell it is, and Marvel Future Fight, whatever the hell it is. I'm just so not in tune with this kind of shit, so I'm sorry, everyone. But yeah, I'm sorry about these fucking cards. So Galacta, the daughter of Galactus, and a playable character in Marvel Rivals will be the season pass card. Part of her design is clearly meant to enable her father. But yeah, anyway, so Galacta, the season pass card. Let's go over her first. She is a 4/6. Each turn, the first card you play at another location reveals with +3 power.
The first card you play at another location. Okay, so she's 4/9. The first card you play at another location.
She's a 4/12. Minimum, I think.
Wait, what?
Each turn. The first card you play at another location.
If you play her on 4. Yeah, but if you play her on 5, then she's a 4/9, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, if you play her on 4, she's a 4/12. If you play her on 5, she's a 4/9. She seems like a pretty damn interesting card. You know.
First thing that popped into my head was Brood. Brood was the first thing that popped into my head.
Brood would be crazy. Iron Man would be crazy. Any of these cards with, you know, in a Mr. Negative, any of these 0 like cards, you know, Sage, whatever. Those are all going to be really nice. You know, obviously Galactus getting 3 extra power. But like, let's be honest, he's not going to become a thing with her. I'm just, there's no fucking way.
He reveals. He reveals with 8, I guess. Yeah.
No, he reveals 9. He's a 6 now, right?
I thought he was a 5.
Oh, I think they changed him to 6. I think they buffed him a few months ago.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Like 6/6. Yeah.
Yeah, they buffed him a few months ago. It did nothing, clearly, you know, but they did buff him. But
okay,
yeah,
6/9's respectable for Galactus.
yeah, it's not gonna bring Galactus back. There's gonna be people that try. I'm excited to see those decks. Those are gonna be decks that I will be trying as well. The people that are the Galactus YOLOers and believers. But yeah, I mean, like if you play her on 4 for a card to be a 4/12, where you can decide where that extra power goes, pretty good. I like her. I think it's a good season pass card. Doesn't feel broken to me right now off the top of my head, but there might be some silly things that happen. Yeah. What do you think? No big deal.
Let's see. Gwenpool is a 4/12 if you play all the cards. I'm thinking like, you know, she might be Gwenpool like power level. You know,
Yeah, Gwenpool's pretty good.
yeah, Gwenpool's good. Galactica might be even a little bit better. I don't know, because it always puts the power on the board, where Gwenpool you have to spend more energy from your hand to get it on the board, or maybe it hits some bullshit you don't even want to play anyway, you know? Whereas Galactica, what is she, Galactica?
Galacta. Yeah.
That's sweet. I love Galactus just has a daughter. That's great. I didn't know that in the lore. If Nerf Herder was here, he'd give us the lore.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nerf Herder. But I think this is going to be probably a really good card. Probably worth picking up the season pass. I mean, season pass is always worth it, but this might be one where like it's like a meta shaping card, where it's in like top tier 1 decks. I could see her being in them. I don't see her like being like, you know, like, oh, it's GORR, it's a 6/26, you know, what? Oh, LOL. But like, I don't think it's gonna be that crazy. But yeah, I think she's gonna be like a legit good card.
I mean, even with Iron Man Mystique, right, is like good. Like you put her in like these Iron Man Mystique kind of decks, like. Mm-hmm. It's pretty sweet, right? You get Iron Man as a 5/3, then Mystique on turn 6. Play the Mystique first, which copies the Iron Man, becomes extra 3 power as well. It's like you're just getting 6 extra power. Like it's pretty nutty at that point.
One thing I'm wondering is, if there's already a card in the other location, do you get no buff now from that, or is that how that works?
No. It's the
like
first
she's not
card
like
that...
Namora type of thing?
No. It's the first card you play at another location.
You know? What if you've already played a card at another location? Oh, each turn.
Yeah.
Each turn, the first card you play. Wait a second.
So it can't be on her location, I guess.
Okay, hold on a second, kid.
Yeah.
Can you get +6 each turn? If you're playing this in a zoo deck, let's say?
Oh.
Think about that. You have the Galactica in one Galacta in one lane. And then you're just going boom, 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 boom. You know? Say you're playing her in Athena deck.
Oh,
you get
shit.
fucking Kitty Pryde plus a card, Kitty Pryde plus a card, 3/3/3/3.
And the downside is you can't play at her location.
At her location, because that's not another location.
That actually, maybe you're right. Oh fuck, that's fucked.
That's kind of crazy.
That's kind of yeah. These Kitty Pryde, you just play an Athena, Kitty Pryde, fucking Iron Man Mystique deck, and you're off to the races. Or Zoo.
Yeah.
Or Bounce. Is Bounce? Do you want to waste turn 4 though? I don't think you can give up turn 4 with Bounce.
You probably could. Once they nerf GORR, you could probably just take GORR out for it and just put this card.
That's pretty nuts.
It's going to be nuts and Bounce. Bounce is a good call. Like, it would be ridiculous in that deck.
Yeah, I just don't know if the tempo loss on turn 4 is if Bounce can handle it, but maybe you can. I don't know.
You get the 4/6. Yeah. No, you might be right, but yeah.
No, maybe you can. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just
especially with Toxin, like you're bouncing 3 times. You're right. You might just not have any room for a 4
at another location. Wow. So yeah, you can get +6. Holy shit. Yeah, the way this reads, yeah, you're right. Wow. That's good. That's pretty fucking sick. Even if you just play like one card, it's great. So
Yeah.
we're saying it's good even if you play one card, but you have the
Yeah.
potential to play two cards and get like, wow, that's great. Yeah, you
I
just
mean, I've
can't
been
play in Hurling.
clamoring for them to put Typhoid Mary to a 412, and it minuses your own card, so it's really not. It's less than a 412. Like she seems like a pretty easy 412, but like you might have like 418 upside, right? And that's not including a Brood or an Iron Man or something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's really good.
that seems insane.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
is
you
she?
could play her, and speaking of Brood, you could play her in Surfer. I mean,
I was gonna say, is she just really good in a surfer deck?
imagine you
Like,
go like Fenris Brood on 5, like fuck man, and then just 2 3s on 6. It's ridiculous.
Jesus,
Yeah.
that is ridiculous. Wow. All
You
right.
could take
Well,
Sarah out, just put this card in.
I'm buying the season pass.
And maybe it doesn't work like that. I don't know, but
It does say that it does. So the first
Yeah.
card you play at another location.
Yeah, each turn, and it says each turn, so that means you
Yeah.
should be able to do 2 each turn.
Yeah, not each turn. The first card you play.
Mm-hmm.
Reveals with +3 power.
Yeah.
Or if it just say that, I don't know. Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. We'll see. The way
Yeah,
it
if
reads,
it's
it
once
looks
per
like
turn,
that.
I won't be surprised if it is just once per turn and it's phrased.
But if it is, it's still
phrased
good.
weird.
Like it's still good.
Yeah, then it's just good, like we were saying, like Gwenpool, maybe slightly better than Gwenpool.
Yeah. If not, it's crazy.
Yes, yeah.
All right. This card is the only one that I really read and looks like a lot of fun, and it's just I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I never read it.
Bruce Banner. He's a 2/1. When you end a turn with unspent energy,
Oh,
25% chance to Hulk out.
you just turn into Hulk or what?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really say even on
Yeah. I
thing
think
here.
that's what Hulk out is, right? When Bruce Banner turns to the Hulk.
Yeah.
It's just like, so each turn you have what's it called? Danger Room. Just every turn he's Danger Room, possibly turn into the Hulk. That would be hilarious. It's gonna be, I don't think it's gonna be great.
I was gonna
You
say
know-
I wish this was a little bit better, because I actually love this effect, but I don't think 25% is enough. We have to bump this up to like 40% or something,
No, but you put him in a Ravona deck. He's just a one cost card.
Yeah, just slam him, hope for because the best thing about this is, the game of chicken on turn 6.
Yeah.
Like they still you could end the game and they're like, oh well, that still might be a Hulk. Like I don't know.
Actually,
Like,
you know what? I just reread it again. Take back everything I said. He's gonna be dog shit, but he's gonna be fun.
because
You have to
energy,
end.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
unspent energy. So like, if you even curve out a little bit, like you're kind of screwed. He's gonna be good. He's gonna be a good card that you pull in RSM decks, like randomly.
I think the design, I guess they're going for high Evo, so
Yeah.
that way you get a high Evo Hulk, right? Which is nice.
Yeah.
And it's it's unspent energy, obviously, so this is a no brainer in that deck. But even in that deck, yeah, it's like I think they need to move this to 50%. Honestly, like let's just go 50-50 because you're not always going to play it on 2, and you're not always
Yeah.
going to have unspent energy, and then even then you're still at the mercy of a coin flip, So.
Yeah.
I like if it was I love this effect. This is awesome, amazing card design. I mean Bruce Banner, shout out Brucey, and I think he might just need a buff.
I like if they just get rid of the unspent energy. I get what they're trying to do with the whole Hulk stuff and unspent
Right.
energy, but like just get rid of 25% enough of a.
Yeah, or that
Yeah.
just at the end of each turn, 25% to Hulk out.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep it simple, yeah, and you could just play him in anything.
Yeah, exactly. And he's just like he still not be that probably still not that good, honestly, but like
Yeah.
it'll make for some hilarious highlights.
Oh, it'd be so hilarious. Yeah.
Especially like turn 6, you're just throwing out a YOLO Bruce Banner to try and win. Like you need the Hulk, and he just hulks out at the end of the game. Like, like there's nothing they can do about it. It's just end of the game Hulk out to
so
win.
good.
I mean, it's still gonna happen. There's still gonna be some highlights, but
Oh yeah.
I want it to be a little bit more. But yeah, because the 2/1's complete horseshit. Like it really sucks. All right. Next one, Doom 2099. So Doom 2099 is a 4/2. After each turn, add a Doombot 2099 to a random location if you played exactly one card. And then the Doom.
It's like Thena, but like Sandman, which is like a weird thing to say. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Sandman's new Sandman's different now, right?
Yeah, like old Sandman. Yeah, old
Yeah.
Sandman.
Yeah, you can only play exactly one card, and then he'll add a Doombot. So he can, in a 6-turn game, he can add 2 Doombot 2099s, right?
So what are the stats on the Doom bots? Are they
So
just five?
Doombots are 4/2,
Okay.
and they're ongoing. Your other Doombots and Doom have +1 power.
Oh, okay. Does that count Doctor Doom as well or no?
I don't know. It doesn't say your other Doombot 2099s.
Yeah, that's what
So
I'm
maybe
thinking. Yeah.
maybe the other Doombots, like, because maybe he's just cracked to play with Doctor Doom.
Yeah, or
Because
maybe
then
not
you,
cracked, but maybe fine. I mean, I don't know.
yeah,
It's still not
because
like
on turn,
crazy amount of power, right?
yeah, because on turn 6 you're playing Doctor Doom, and like they're
Yeah.
gonna get,
Little pump.
yeah,
You get a little mini Cerebro, a little half Cerebro effect there. Yeah.
yeah. So what is he gonna be if you just play them, right? Like if you just play them, he's gonna be a 416, no 412. Yeah, he'll be a 412 that randomly puts the Doombots. Right? Because they'll be 4/4s. They'll all be 4/4s. You just get 2 Doombot 2099s, and then Doom will be 2 power.
Okay, your other Doom bots. Okay, it's ongoing. Okay, your other Doom bots and Doom have +1 power. So, but then you again you have to play it on 4 for that scenario, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So just picture a world where you have to play this on 5, and
If it works with Doctor Doom, if you play it on 5, then you play Doctor Doom on 6.
yeah,
If
that's
they all
still pretty
get
good,
plus
yeah.
1 power, it's still pretty sweet. I guess that's the main question: is does this work with Doctor Doom? Let's say it doesn't work with Doctor Doom. Is it still a good card that you would play?
My first instinct is it seems kind of bad, honestly.
Yeah, it's a random location too, right?
It's just not that much power. Like it's decent. Like, but think about this compared to like Namora.
Yeah.
Like I just play a 5/16. I'm not thinking about it's too much. Just just slamming a 5/6. Like it's because it's similar to Namora, right? It's spreading out the
Yeah.
power, and that you need some conditions to kind of meet here. I don't know.
Yeah, and like you have to play him in like a mid-rangey kind of good cards deck. You're not playing. You can't play him in combo decks because you can only play one card at a time.
Yeah.
Like you can't play like bounce. You can't play like almost certainly aren't going to be playing like the Ravonna type decks because you want to be playing more than one card.
I think
Yeah,
you might
most
want
decks
to
you wanna play.
unironically play Sandman. Like this might be just because Sandman's a 1 card. So you play this on 4, then you play Sandman on 5. Actually, that sounds kind of good.
Yeah,
Because I think Sandman still works with 6s, right? Like 6s just cost 6 under Sandman. I'm pretty sure. Let's see.
I don't know.
Next turn, cards cost 1 more, maximum 6. So Sandman's
Yeah.
a 5/7 now. He's big. He's a big power now. So
Yeah.
I think this is literally meant to be played with. They're trying to give the new Sandman some support. That's what I'm seeing here, which is kind of interesting, honestly, because
Yeah.
that would be annoying as fuck to play against. Honestly, somebody goes Doombot into Sandman, and then I got to think, if they play Doctor Doom, that's like a 19 power play, spread out, and all my shit costs 1 more, and they're gonna drop 19 power on my head. So
he might be okay in Ultron too.
yeah, actually,
Ultron decks.
Ultron, Sandman, yeah, exactly. That's 1 card, right?
Like you play Patriot on 3 or something.
Yep, this, and then you play. You don't have to do Sandman. You can do Sandman or Blue Marvel.
Yeah.
So you play Blue Marvel. That's 1 card, and then Ultron or Doctor Doom.
Yeah. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So this, hey, Ultron, Sandman. Maybe it'll bring that back. I think that'd be kind of interesting actually, because that deck was kind of funny, even though it was a pain in the ass to play
this
against.
is a card that I don't know if it's gonna be good, but it's an interesting enough card that I do want to pick it up and play with it.
Yeah, it's different. It's a different kind of card for sure.
Yeah, it's really interesting, especially
Unique
if it works with Doctor Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're talking the Patriot decks, right? Like
Yeah.
that would be even just like more power, like surprise power. Like the Doom bots are gonna be like 5/9s for Christ's sake. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
like
Doombots and Doom.
yeah, I like this. I like this card. This is cool. All right, next one is Luna Snow. Luna Snow is a 3/5. On reveal, add an ice cube to each side of this location. The ice cube is a 1/0 that says, at the start of each turn, get +1 energy. Then destroy this if your side is full here.
This seems kind of nuts. What?
This seems pretty nuts to me on first first glance here, first impressions. This seems pretty sweet in Clog
Yeah.
because you're gonna get rid of their ice cube and you can control whether or not to keep yours or not, and you're gonna keep getting +1 energy.
All right. So yeah, you just start shipping a goblin in the Luna lane basically,
Yeah.
and then yeah. Well, I guess okay. So
Probably good to play White Widow into Luna Snow, because then they have to fill that lane,
oh, White
right?
Widow. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
White Widow into Luna Snow, they have to fill that lane. They're already clogged 2 by turn 3 on one lane, maybe even 3. They have to fill the lane. They get rid of their ice cube. You get the +1 energy still.
Yeah. Yeah,
Pretty
that's
sweet.
interesting actually. Yeah.
Even not does yeah, I guess it doesn't even have to be a clog deck. Just maybe this brings White Widow back a little bit. Because White Widow, I mean, it's gonna be, you're not always gonna curve like that, but if you get that curve, which will happen a decent amount of the time, pretty nuts.
Yeah, she's interesting. So I guess okay. So the first thing I read it, then it hit me. Oh yeah, your opponent is also getting +1 energy a turn. So you play a 3/5, and then both of you are ramping until their side is full. So you like you said, you need to fill up their side, and then you're just ramping, and that's at the start of every turn. So at the start of each turn, get +1 to destroy us. It's just something about this feels kind of nuts to me. Feels like when I first read Hope Summers, you know, maybe not the +2 each turn, but when they when Hope Summers first came out, remember? It was, I don't know.
Yeah.
This feels like Hope Summers to me. I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
I think this is gonna be a good card. I don't know. This is like especially because you're gonna build your deck around wanting that extra energy too. Like, I think this is gonna be a cracked card. It's gonna be a card that I think it's just gonna be good. They'll probably end up nerfing it to a 3/4, because like a 3/5 with this effect seems nutty. You know, especially because I think it's gonna be played with like White Widow, and even in like you don't have to have a clog deck. Just with White Widow, it's pretty fucking good. And then if you are playing clog, then it's even better.
Wow, and yeah, speaking of clog too, I mean you can repeat too. So you can grandmaster this like.
Yeah.
Then you're just ramping your cock off, and you throw a debris in the other lane, like you do like Titania debris in the next turn, like
Yeah.
you get crazy with this thing.
All right. All the cards so far I like and I want.
Yeah, I will say though, this one seems like really powerful, where the other ones are like, it's kind of cool. I mean, if Galacta works in 2 lanes, she's going to be insane, right? If you get +6 every turn, you could play her on 4, make a 4/18. That's ridiculous. It's like better than Miss Marvel on release, So yeah.
Yeah, Bruce Banner's the only one that I'm not going to get Bruce Banner if they keep him like that. I mean, hopefully, maybe he's like a free card, and like maybe they have like a weird mode like Deadpool's Diner High Voltage.
Yeah.
And then he's just like a free card you can get in one of those modes. Then I'd be so pumped for that. That'd be great because he's like
extremely unnecessary to have in your collection.
Yeah, like if it's unspent energy, there's no fucking way I'm spending any resources on that card.
Yeah.
Now, if they get rid of that and it's 25% chance, I might just get it for the lulz, but probably not. All right, Penny Parker. Penny Parker is a 2/3. On reveal, add Spider to your hand. When this merges, you get +1 energy next turn. And then Spider is a 3/3 that gets added to your hand from Penny Parker. Is an on reveal, merge with one of your cards here. You can move that card next turn.
Well, but Agony support. Hey, well, Agony has not made her way into any decks, right?
Yeah, a better Hulkbuster, maybe.
I think you just play them all, right? If you're playing Penny Parker, I think you're just playing a merge deck at this point, right?
Is this a Phoenix Force card? Oh,
actually, yeah, man. Phoenix Force is a merge card, yeah.
Is Phoenix Force back? Because this can be played with Deadpool. This can be played with...
Hey, Phoenix Force never left.
That's true. This can be played with Multiple Man, and then like you destroy that shit. It's great with Phoenix Force.
Yeah.
Anytime you're moving stuff, like it's... and you can move that card next turn. That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, so the second you play the Phoenix Force, you're going to be going into turn 5 with 6 energy. I mean, it's crazy. You could do some Taskmaster. You could throw Taskmaster or something in your Phoenix Force deck, which is what people used to do when it costed 5. But now Penny Parker just ramps you one,
Yeah.
You can just play it again. You can play Deadpool Task on the last turn if you Penny Parker ramp.
That's true. Yeah, you get +1 energy next turn. I don't know. I think it might be too slow to go in Phoenix Force, to be honest. The Jet Phoenix Force version, because you want to do like, I don't know if you want to give up your second turn, but maybe you do. I don't know. I don't even know what you cut. You probably cut an Agony for this, to be honest. But Yeah, I don't know. This seems like a pretty cool card. This seems like a pretty cool card. I think there's gonna be a lot of possibilities that we're not thinking of now, at all.
I'm
That
just
are gonna
pulling
be
up
great.
Symbiote Spider-Man. Yeah, Symbiote Spider-Man says merge on it. So, hey. That's pretty sick.
So you're saying you merge this with Symbiote Spider-Man?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I was thinking, what other cards is merge? I'm like, wait a second. Isn't Symbiote Spider-Man a merge?
I mean, what about this on Scarlet Spider? Additional Scarlet Spider support. You have that card. You love that card.
It was not an activate. Yeah, okay, that's good. Yeah, because the freaking activate stuff doesn't work with Scarlet Spider. But yeah, hey, there you go. That's 8 power, 2 8s, 16.
Yeah, that you can move. That you can move.
Yep. Wait, what do you mean you can move? Oh, merge with one of your cards.
You can move that card next turn.
Okay, I'm thinking. I'm like disregarding the spider, the spider guy, because yeah, when this merges, you need to merge with Penny herself, right?
No. Look at Spider.
Merge with one of your cards here. You can move that card. Yeah,
Yeah,
but,
add Spider. When Spider merges.
yeah, but okay. Read Penny Parker effect and pretend like the spider doesn't exist for a second, because that's how I'm kind of my brain.
Well,
is looking
you can't pretend it doesn't exist. That's the whole point of the card, is that it does exist. Add Spider to your hand.
Yeah.
When this merges, this meaning Spider, you get +1 energy next turn.
Are you sure this means spider? I thought this meant Penny Parker.
No,
So
Penny Parker doesn't
if I go
merge.
Agony into Penny, I think you get +1. No.
No.
Are you sure?
No. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. That would be a completely stupid card. That would suck.
I think that's what we're dealing with.
Spider merges on reveal.
Which
Merge.
gives you an option if you want to curve out a merge. So then you could just do Penny into Spider if you want. You know.
Oh,
If you want to just ramp, and have a 6 power, vision or whatever.
Yeah,
or
for me, the
Nightcrawler.
way I read it is that you get Spider in your hand, and whenever Spider merges, when you play Spider, whenever Spider merges, you get +1 energy the next turn, and then you can move that card.
Yeah, but see, Spider, it doesn't say +1 energy, right? So that's not how I'm reading it. To me, Spider's a 3/3 Hulkbuster that is like Hulkbuster Nightcrawler,
Can move?
Or
Maybe you're
Hulkbuster
right.
Jeff, And then Penny is you have to merge Penny in order to get the +1 energy when
So
this
okay,
merges.
so they're wanting you to play Spider on Penny Parker is what they're trying.
Yeah, that's like in a
If that's-
pinch. At least it gives you that option. Then you don't have to draw Agony. You don't have to draw Hulkbuster. But you could also just fucking Hulkbuster, and then you could, do like Deadpool, Hulkbuster, whatever, you do other shit.
Yeah, at the very least, I want them to clean up this text to make it less confusing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If we both interpret it different, then there's probably something wrong with the wording, right?
Yeah.
Or I'm just an idiot. We'll see.
No, I could be too. Like you're right, because it is on Penny. It's not on the Spider card. So
Yeah, the whole time I was picturing Penny because I'm thinking that's what I'm thinking with Phoenix Force. So you kill the Penny. You play Penny on 2, right? Then you kill her on 3. Then you Phoenix Force on 4. So this is what I'm saying. You were saying it's delayed, right? But I don't think it is. Penny into Deathlock into Phoenix Force. Just picture that, right?
Or Venom or Carnage.
Yeah, Penny into Destroy.
Then you have 2 Spiders in your hand, and you have a 4/8.
I'm saying I don't even care about the fucking fuck the spiders. They're just they're bricks. I got +1 energy. Like I'm ramping. Like
No. Then you have 6. You have 6 energy on turn 5.
on turn 5, exactly. Yes, and then you have 7 on turn 6, right? And you played like Deadpool. Tasker.
No, it's just +1 energy next turn.
Oh, okay. It is just one. Okay, it's not like a Wiccan or something. Okay, that makes sense. Or Electro.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking it was Electro.
Yeah, having 6 with just a 4/8 Phoenix Force and having 6 energy on turn 5 would just be stupid.
Okay, it's Psylocke. So when this merges, Psylocke basically.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a nice little whatever.
That's a little more balanced than the crazy shit I was trying to concoct into my head. Yeah.
Well, it seems like
still really interesting, I think.
Interesting card. It doesn't seem that powerful to me.
Yeah.
It seems just like it's a cool effect, which is enough for me to want it, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be like a powerful card by any means.
I'm with you. I'm down to skip Bruce, but I want to pick up this card, man. This seems like I could at least cope with some bullshit and try to pull off some stupid combos. And if I'm not doing that, then what even is Marvel Snap?
Yeah, and it's nice that it's 2 cost as well. Like it's nice that it has if it's like a dumb like combo. If this was like a 4 energy, there's no way I'd be buying it. I'd be like, no, I'm not wasting resources on a 4 cost. But like a 2 cost, you can just put them in any deck and just like fuck around, and it could be fun, you know.
I mean, it might be kind of good in lockdown. I mean, I play my I play my penny. I merge and then I storm somewhere else. Then if I need to move in there, I just move in a 6 power into my lockdown lane. It sounds decent, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty
Yeah.
good for like Deadpool stuff too. Like I don't know if
Yeah.
you want to do that, you know, but it's nice. Multiple man, just get a 6 power card, like 6 power.
And
Pretty
a
sweet.
Psylocke, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. Dagger, like maybe put them in a move deck. I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking move deck as well because I think you could use the power in the move deck. You could do some nasty shit and maybe like
Yeah.
do a toxin, like a move deck with the card toxin in it.
Yeah.
So you could do some move bounce. You know, you actually really can use the energy in a deck like that. And if you bounce her, you could Psylocke again, which is fun. You do like Heimdall plus Doctor Strange on the last turn or something stupid, you know. Or
Pretty good.
Heimdall Ghost Spider would be more realistic.
Yeah.
Do like a Heimdall Ghost Spider turn.
That could be interesting. It's gonna be a cool card. It's gonna be a cool card.
Yeah.
I like they thought of that. It's like a really really unique effect there. All right, last one here. Rocket, Raccoon, and Groot
We
is
are
a
Groot.
3/3. You can move this once. After your opponent plays a card here, steal 1 power from it.
Oh, they made it a Guardian card. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's compare this to Punisher, right? So, because this is literally just Punisher, right? I mean, let's call it what it is. This is just a cooler Punisher.
Yeah. Is Punisher? Yeah. Yes. Yeah, Punisher is +2. This will essentially be a +2 because it's -1, and then.
I don't know the numbers, but I'm saying just the idea of the card. It's a 3 cost that punishes your opponent from playing there, basically,
Yep.
right? So Punisher will, in the best case scenario, be a 3/7. This, could be, in some crazy world, 3/11, right? Because it's stealing theirs as well. This seems fun. I love the Guardian cards, kid. I'm reading this. This seems kind of bad, again, like all the other Guardians, but like a little bit better than Groot, for example. Like compare this to Groot, I like this better,
Yeah.
But it still seems like a weak Guardians card to me.
I'm trying to think of when you would play this, or is it shit or is it really good?
Moving it once is what maybe can push it into the good,
But if you just play it, like people are not like I'm not gonna want to play on this lane.
No,
Ever.
no, of course.
You're losing 2 power every time.
But it's super telegraphed, like.
But yeah, but like you just have it there. It's like a Negasonic lane. Like you don't want to fucking play on that lane. Like.
Yeah, but I mean, look at Negasonic. Like we keep trying to jam her into these decks, and she's just kind of just okay. I think this guy might end up like Negasonic. Actually, that's a good example, right? Where it's like, all right, it's there, it's whatever, but you kind of play. You could play around it. I could just throw a GORR in there at the end of the game. Like, well, I just play GORR. Like, okay, whoa, shit, I lost 1 power. Whoops, down to 620.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can move it once too. So
yeah,
maybe
the
you
move
steal
once is really interesting. And also, I think it's going to work same turn as well. So if you pass priority, if you have priority, this is really good. Yeah,
What about
you play
Jean
this
Grey?
on 3. Yeah, and it'll same turn, I think. So you could snipe. You could go for snipes with this.
What about Jean Grey?
Yeah, Jean. Well, that's what I'm saying with Punisher. This is like a Punisher, right? Because Jean Grey, and then if Punisher was an actual card, you could play Punisher with Jean Grey, But this now you could just play this instead, I guess.
This would be sweet with Jean Grey if Jean Grey was 2 energy, which they should probably think about buffing that card. That card has such a cool effect to be this shit.
Well, some we didn't talk about. They moved her to Series 3.
Oh, there you go. A lot of people are gonna get the cookers are gonna get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, this card. I don't think it's gonna be enough. I don't think it's gonna be enough. It'll be a 3/5 after 1. A 3/7 after 2 things. If it hits 2 things, it's a 3/7. I mean,
I guess that's
that's pretty good.
Yeah, it could be. I feel similar to this than I do with Bruce Banner. It's like I love the card design. Like I love these Guardians decks.
Yeah.
I love I want to force you to play here, and then I punish you for playing here. I feel like Clog is just better version of that, you know? Like, you could just play Clog if you want to do that, which is unfortunate because the Guardian stuff's really cool, but ultimately I just don't think the card does enough to, you know, make you want to pick it as one of your 12 cards out of 400 to put in your deck.
Yeah, I for some reason I just think it's going to be good. I don't know why. The reason why I'm like a little down on it is because I don't think it's not a card I would typically play. Like I think the decks it goes in are not decks I typically play. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I think if it hits twice, it's a 3/7, which is pretty
well, that's
nice.
what I know what they're thinking with the power. They're thinking, yeah, if you hit once, it's a 3/5. So like, what are you complaining about? I just
and then you can move it. Anything. But then you can move it.
Yeah, so 3/5, and then it's, Nocturne can move too, right?
Like
so
Nocturne was broken as a 3/5 that can move.
Yeah, but it'll be a 3/4 that can move, right? So that's true. It's 3/5 value, but it's 3/4 that can move.
Right, you're right.
But then it will turn into 3/5 if you snipe with your move, right?
Yeah.
And move always goes first, which is the new change, which is nice. So you really should be able to get at least one snipe with it if you play it before it's 6.
This might be good in your lockdown deck instead of Red Guardian.
It's the Guardian cards are meant to play like in lockdown. Like if they weren't dog shit, like the first iteration of lockdown I ever played in my life, I think I had Star-Lord and Gamora both in the deck.
Yeah, that's great.
And I even said, I think we talked about on this pod, I said, look, Star-Lord's copium here, but Gamora's like actually doing something.
Yeah.
But Star-Lord could just be Jeff. And I think I didn't have Jeff actually back then because he was 6K. He still is.
The big bad.
But we didn't know he was a big bad back then. So I didn't have Jeff, but I'm like, yeah, obviously just put Jeff there. But I want to play Star-Lord for fun. And so I can say, got him.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. But these cards look pretty good. I'm pretty excited for them, actually. Like, they look nice for next season.
These are sweet card design, for sure.
Yeah.
Have you played any King Eitri, kid?
No, I just literally got him right before this pod.
Yeah, same. I just got him too. I haven't played him yet. But.
Like 10 minutes before we started recording, I played the last game and actually got there, and I was like, oh, it's pretty poetic.
I haven't thought about it that much, but I haven't thought about anything outside of hammers, like storm hammers and Thanos.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Revis posted a deck that I wanted. He grinded the first day and got it, but he posted I think a Thor kind of deck, which I really like those decks. They're not the best, obviously, but they're so much fun. So I think that's gonna be where I start is Revis's Thor deck.
Yeah, I'll do the same then. Yeah, Revis.
I think I can't remember because this was maybe a week or so ago, but I think he didn't play Jane Foster. And I think he said when he's in his testing both is too much. And you probably just want to choose one. If you're going to go with Jane Foster, play Jane Foster. If you're going to go with Etri, play Etri. I think that's what he was saying, with his testing and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty excited. Yeah, I'm going to start there with the Thors. They're just fun to play, man. So, I'm just going to play those cards. But, yeah, no big deal. You got the headband. You're looking extra fucking fresh this week.
We're back.
Episode 80. Episode 80. We're back. And I'll say one thing.
To get a headband.
That's it. Eventually, after 80 more, you're going to go full degen and eventually just buy a mullet. And it's just going to, it's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
You eventually go full degen like the kid over here. But
yeah, exactly. I'm with you.
I will say, too, the folks at the Snap Judgment League over there, Snap Judge Cast, shout out to all them. They were nice enough to give us a Discord channel in the Snap Judgments League. So, come screw around there if you want. I don't know how active we'll be there, to be honest, but we call it No Big Deal Spice. We'll post No Big Deals decks and stuff there, and talk around, fuck around, have a good time. Could be pretty good. So yeah, shout out to them. That's all I want to say. No big deal. What do you gotta say to the people, my man?
Hey, appreciate the diner. Maybe write second dinner a nice email saying, hey guys, this diner game mode is pretty sweet. I like it better than high voltage. All these things I think are good things to say. Because there's a lot of negative feedback on the internet. Most people, when they're feeling good, they just live their life and they don't post on the internet. When they're feeling like shit, they post. So it doesn't hurt to just say nice things, aloud, and especially the people developing the game are human too. They're not all in charge of the card acquisition and the monetization. So shoot them an email or on the report feedback if you like the diner. I did that on the last diner, by the way, so I'm not just talking out of my ass. I did send them a nice email because everyone was shitting on it, and I'm like, this is a beautiful mode. Please bring it back. Shout out to Second Dinner, they did it, and I'm having a blast acquiring bubs. So keep bubbing.
Keep bubbing. Spend all your bubs. Go all in all the time. Don't worry, it regens after. It regens after a couple hours. Ship it and peace.